infected with COVID-19 at the increased risk of developing heart conditions up to a year later. The Pan American Health Organization warned that millions of children have fallen behind on routine immunizations during the pandemic, causing outbreaks of disease such as measles and diphtheria in the Latin America and Caribbean. Many doctors believe it's possible to have long-term effects from the Omicron variant of the virus. A lot of people who catch the coronavirus remain ill for an extended period. An estimated 10 to 40% later suffer from long COVID. Alpha, then Delta, and now Omicron. Delta variant became the dominant and displaced Alpha in summer of 2021. It managed to do so because it was between 40% and 60% more transmissible. Now, the Omicron variant is even more transmissible than Delta. In comparison with the original strain of SARS-CoV-2, Omicron contains 72 mutations throughout its genome. Omicron is even able to evade existing immunity long enough to start an infection, cause symptoms, and transmit onward to the next person. This explains why reinfections and vaccine breakthroughs infections seem to be most common with Omicron. When people are thinking, when will the pandemic be over? Many around the world are pinning their hopes on the vaccine, but even that isn't a quick fix. Polls show that some people may not be willing to be vaccinated. Even if someone is vaccinated, scientists don't yet know whether it's possible that they could get the virus and spread it, even if they don't get sick themselves. UK's recently announcement that it has identified a new strain of coronavirus that appears to be 70% more infectious than the old strain. Virus is getting strong and more virulent. New COVID-19 study highlights suicide risk to healthcare workers. A new study says 1 in 10 Australian healthcare workers has had thoughts of suicide or self-harming during the pandemic. Healthcare workers in Somalia suffer from high rates of anxiety, depression, and stress because of their work with COVID-19 cases. Initial findings recorded a high prevalence of anxiety in the workforce at 69%, 46% for depression, and 15% for stress. So, Omicron is not a normal, can kill. The head of the World Health Organization, WHO, said that it would be dangerous to assume that the high transmissible Omicron was the last variant to emerge and that world was in the end game of the pandemic. Since Omicron was the first identified a little over 10 weeks ago, more than 80 million cases have been reported to the UN agency, more than were reported in the whole of 2020. Conditions are ideal for more variants to emerge. So instead of it ending, more variants will be emerging. WHO epidemiologist and technical lead on COVID-19, Dr. Maria, stressed that the pandemic is far from over and future variants will be in some way more virulent than Omicron is now. They warned that the next variant could more easily evade immunity, rendering vaccines less effective. They cautioned that there is no guarantee the coronavirus will get weaker as it evolves, and that although the world might hope that's the case, we can't bank on it. The WHO chief said that the impact will be felt among the most vulnerable groups, and the longer the pandemic drags on, the impact would be worse. WHO had warned that the virus evolves vaccines may need to evolve as well. Variants of SARS-CoV-2 may continue to escape neutralizing antibodies induced by vaccines against the prior variants. Crushing fatigue, brain fog, trouble breathing weeks after contracting COVID-19, scientists call it a post-acute sequel of COVID-19. New research suggests the coronavirus can invade and destroy the placenta and lead to stillbirths in infected women. It's an uncommon outcome for any pregnancy, but women with COVID-19 face an elevated risk. Researchers in 12 countries, including United States, analyzed the placental and autopsy tissue from 64 stillbirths and 4 newborns who died shortly after birth. More shocking result was the placenta that was infected and extensively destroyed. Many of these cases had over 90% of the placenta destroyed. Very scary. Is India staring at a sharp rise in Omicron wave in next few weeks? Here is what the experts say on the COVID-19 third wave. Chances of the third wave intensifying over the next 8 to 10 weeks looms. Omicron is now in the community transmission in India and has become dominant in multiple metros. A report from the Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genomics Consortium. The country has reported 42.6 million cases and 0.9 million active cases. Omicron subvariant BA2 likely as severe as the original, says WHO. The emerging BA2 form of Omicron coronavirus variant does not seem to be any more severe than the original BA.1 form, an official of the WHO said. The WHO said it's premature for any country either to surrender or to declare victory. This virus is dangerous and it continues to evolve before our very eyes. The WHO is currently tracking 4 sublineages of Omicron variant, including BA2. The comments came as the BA2 version of Omicron begins to replace the more common original BA1 version in many countries. It has been speculated that BA2 is even more transmissible than BA1. In Denmark, BA2 spread about 1.5 times quicker than BA1. It is already known that the original Omicron BA1 is itself more transmissible than the prior variant, like Delta.
So what is BA2? As viruses mutate into new variants, they sometimes split or branch off into sublineages. The Delta variant, for example, comprises 200 different subvariants. The same happened with Omicron, which includes the lineages of BA1, BA2, BA3, BA11, 5 to 9. BA1 accounts for most of the cases. According to the World Health Organization, nearly 99% of the viral DNA submitted to the global GSED database were identified as this subvariant. While BA1 and BA2 are similar, there are 20 mutations apart. According to the Denmark's Stratton Serum Institute, the BA2 infection rose to account for about half of the country's reported COVID cases. It is already the dominant variant in several states and likely drove the country's recent third wave of infection. India is another country where BA2 is rapidly replacing the Delta and Omicron BA1 variant, even in Germany also. In England, more than 1,000 confirmed cases of BA2 have been identified, according to the UKHSA. Is BA2 more transmissible? Yes, a study of 8,500 households and 18,000 individuals conducted by Denmark's SSI found that the BA2 was substantially more transmissible than BA1. The study also showed evidence that suggests that the BA2 subvariant is better able to evade vaccines. A separate UK study also found higher transmissibility for the BA2 compared to the BA1. But the preliminary assessment found no evidence that vaccines would be any less effective against symptomatic disease for either subvariant. The fast-spreading and heavily mutated Omicron variant has rapidly become the dominant variant worldwide since it was the first detected in Southern Africa 10 weeks ago. In its weekly epidemiological update, the World Health Organization said that the variant, which accounts for 93% of all coronavirus specimens collected in the past month, counts several sublineages: BA1, BA11, BA2, and BA3. So with this, we'll be right in a few moments. We'll take a short break. Stay tuned.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are.
So, sorry about the technical glitch. Solutions, what Devi Parashakti summarized, is this, how the solutions for sufferings of Pralaya revealed by Parashakti. Oh, humans, don't be scared of the deadly infection corona. Through these 8 ways, we can solve this problem. First, praying and meditating on me. 2, surrendering to me through social media. 3, wherever I am residing, worshipping me by doing fire walking. 4, applying the turmeric in the chest, drinking neem juice and meditating on me every day. 5, being in unclutched state, feeling with eternal bliss. 6, doing ajapa japa by of the cosmic sound, Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. 7, with complete mind, applying the banana peel and onion in heels and going to sleep. 8, being in state beyond any remembrance of forgetting in the Arunachala Spurna blossoms as Aham in the state of Ananda Spurna. So with this, now we will take a break and we'll connect you in the next section.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity. I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of